It is Edmonton's lunch pail gang in Seattle as Cal and Co. shoot for a season sweep of their Pacific Division foe. We get you set for the Oilers and the Kraken right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. If you're driving right now, listening to us on EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player, maybe iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, thank you. We appreciate that. Drive safely. The roads are getting worse and worse. Rob from the Grove is already here. He said he came in from the Grove 16A, was getting a little dicey. Matt Kassian, our game analyst, is on the way from Sherwood Park. He's coming down here to Boston Pizza Westgate, and he said that the roads were getting dicey as well. So both ends of the city and just the outskirts and bedroom communities, the roads in are a bit tricky. So if we can do anything to help you get home safely, maybe take your mind off of the idiots that are not driving safely and preoccupy you a little bit, we're happy to do so right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show on EST. Of course, the pregame show brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Join the conversation. Hit us up on the text line, 780-218-9999. Get in the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff. You know we appreciate that as well. Let's bring in the Latino heat. Hernan, Salas. Hola, señor.
¿Cómo estás?
How are you?
Oh, yeah, the roads are bad. I drove in and I almost crashed twice. So, yeah, go slow, turn your lights on. If you don't need to go out, don't go out. But if you're going to cross BP's Westgate, be safe, and we'll see you there. Be
safe. Yes.
Be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
I'm looking forward to seeing you down here. You with that one. I like it. We do have plenty of great giveaways if you do come on down. I know Derek Van Dies from NHL.com's on his way as well. Dusty's looking to make an appearance down here. We'll have Cass here with me, and Nanso will be by as well. I heard the Combine crew might be joining as well. We have some great giveaways. Tony, Curtis, and the fantastic staff here. Shout out to Faith and Charlene and Cindy and the crew. We've got some leftover St. Patty's Day stuff. This is a long sleeve brought to you by, I think this is Molson. No, it's Coors Light, same family. This is a boys medium, so you know Big Uke's walking out of here with that one. He'll wear it. I'm kidding. We've also got the golf glove from Molson. This one is I think it's a lefty. So if you swing right-handed, we got one for you. Always good to have a couple of those handy. And then we've got these Molson Canadian Oilers toques that we will be giving away, fitting for a day like today and the next couple of days that we're going to be dealing with here. $25 GCs to Boston Pizza Westgate, 170th Street, 90th Ave. Also will be giving away, and I think we have a nice golf shirt, and I think Tony likes to give away. They have Travis Matthew golf shirts. And if you know that those are primo golf shirts. Nancito, what do you got for me, boss?
Oh, not much, man. Just intrigued to see I'm not intrigued to see the
Oh, snap.
Because we know what it's going to be, but yeah. I'm looking for Knoblock availability. I can't find it anywhere, so
okay.
So it's 5:40.
Yeah, we're on.
I don't know if that was local or not, but Cass has arrived. We're just going to adjust.
Cass has arrived. He put on his party cardi. He's ready to. Oh no, you got a little hoodie. There he is. There's our game analyst. Why don't you break the microphone? Yeah, there we go. I'll turn it up when he's ready. First show for this guy, huh? Just
a bunch of pros.
Oh, man.
Before.
There you go. Hello, Cass. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Good to have you. I knew you.
You're a little dicey out there tonight.
How bad was it? Because Rob was coming in from Spruce Grove.
It was pretty back there. Pretty nasty.
You're coming in from
pretty nasty. Yeah, coming across. Having to drive across the city. It wasn't horrible. I don't think going this way, but a couple spinouts, couple accidents on the White Mud going back the other way. So it was be safe, please.
Be safe. Yeah.
Be safe. Yep. Drive safe. Give yourself space. It's a little icy, a little dicey. Much like the Edmonton Oilers currently, with Stuart Skinner out and Draisaitl out and McDavid out and all the things.
And all the things and the whatnots and hootenannies that we're about to get into. All right, scooch over a little bit, Cass. Come on in. Your headset number 2 as per usual, and we are off and running. Text us 780-218-9999. Busy day in the National Hockey League. Yesterday, not so busy, Cass. A bunch of games on the sched. I think we're at 10 today. Yes, we are. A bunch of them already underway. Right now, we've got Washington and Mini 2-1. The Caps lead the Wild on the power play. Right now,
2-2.
Oh, they just scored. There you go. Those are your boys.
Yeah, still want them to do well.
I respect that. 7-2 Buffalo laying the boots to the Pens. 3-0 Ottawa looking for a bounce back after dropping a few over Detroit right now. 15 minutes left in the third. 6-0 Lightning over Utah Hockey Club.
That's got to be all she wrote for Utah.
Yeah,
they're
night,
done.
Irene.
No way.
Flyers under Brad Larson are beating the Montreal Canadiens right now. The Habs need these points. And then we've also got Nashville up 2-0 on St. Louis. St. Louis has been playing lights out. Can you imagine if the Preds beat them tonight? That's a kick in the you-know-what.
That is a huge...
sensitive male area.
Yep.
As we like to say. Calgary gets Dallas. Dallas coming off a win here at Edmonton last night. LA visits Colorado. And then San Jose and Toronto at the Shark Tank is the late one for you. If you have any questions or thoughts going into this one and you want to fire Cass's way, let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Corey B getting in there. Wear what you win. We were saying Big Uke. That's actually, we've got the prizes for today. We've got a golf glove.
Nice.
We've got a toque. There's a bunch of these, by the way. This I was just showing them. The Coors Light St. Patty's Day green shirt. And then we've got $25 GCs. We have a golf shirt. Usually it's Travis Matthew. A bunch of toques, a bunch of these shirts. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Big Uke has walked out of here wearing like a men's medium shirt. It's a sight to behold.
Yeah. Sounds appropriate.
Yeah, it is. It is 100% appropriate. All right. As we roll along here, Cass here at BP Westgate with myself. Hernan will be here in a little bit. The order is 41, 25, and 5. Kraken 30, 36, and 6. Game number 72. I'll start with this, Cass, before we dive into lineups and stuff like that. And the question of the night, because the Latino Heat always delivers. We didn't have you on pre and post last night. Belsey did a great job breaking things down, getting us ready for the game. But from what you saw last night, the result, the clawing their way back into it in third period, what were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, well, I think you like the clawback. Like, you like the push. You like the push to get back into that game against a really good Dallas team.
Yep.
You maybe didn't deserve to be down the full 4 goals, a couple of big mistakes that cost you. So you like the fight that they came back with. Areas to clean up, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. Things that weren't great from an execution standpoint that have, we've talked about frequently.
Yes.
That have continued to hamper them, plague them. Some questions coming out of it, and we talked about it on the podcast this afternoon about Matthias Ekholm and his play and the sustainability or what you may or may not be getting out of him the rest of the way and into playoffs.
Right.
But overall, Tom, I think you're satisfied with that game. You don't get the win, which is disappointing. You don't get a point or 2 points, disappointing. But overall, when you look at how the team played, I think you're happy at least with the effort that the team put in.
I'm not disagreeing with you on any of that. Some of the stuff that popped up, though, post-game, the non-response.
Yeah.
People want to know what you think about that, because that was something that you would have to go in and mop up.
Yeah.
That was your job.
Yeah, I don't think, like the Rantanen one in particular, I don't think it was intentional.
I agree.
Like, I think it wasn't intentional. No. And he's not a player that was trying to do that. Did I love his path that close to the crease? No. No.
Stu's head's
out. He's out. His shoulders dropped. Like, I don't think it was intentional. And I don't think that's the type of thing that needed a massive response. Like, I don't think so. Now,
the Sam's. Okay, go ahead.
The Sam Steele.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Sam Steele one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, a little bit, but you had a little bit of a response. And Wallman's also right there on that play, kind of carrying him in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't make that big a deal out of it. Now, and we'll talk about this. This is maybe a foreshadowing of game changers coming up. But I think the real discussion to me is not, should someone have gone and fought somebody here? The real discussion is, hey, are they doing a good enough job protecting lanes to the front of their net? And secondary to that, are they doing a good enough job making it that challenging for other teams in front of their goalie?
Right.
Like in front of Ottinger. Did they do enough of that? And generally, do they do enough of that? That, to me, is the part of that discussion, because if you are being more difficult in those lanes, it all of a sudden is more challenging for teams to get there, and your goalie's not getting bumped. Like, I haven't seen repetitive or teams over and over and over, like where they're trying to physically like bump Stuart Skinner and bump him and bump Pickard and hit him and tap him and just kind of get in their grill. Like I haven't seen that. So I don't think the right. You're saying, hey, are they too soft? And what do they need to let someone fight? I think you're asking the wrong question. And the question, like not like people that are upset about this.
I'm highly offended.
No, like
I'm kidding.
No, the question should be: are they doing enough to protect the front of the net in general? Not just do they need to go fight somebody and sucker somebody and take a 5-game suspension?
No, but it's fun to watch when they do. It
is fun. Oh, I agree. If they want to do it, great. Like make it exciting for us. But
I got some big news, boys. Okay. I don't mean to interrupt.
Can I just say one thing?
On the ice.
Can I just say one thing? You talk about hard hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, Hernan. Go ahead. I just want to finish up.
This coming down the pipe. Stuart Skinner's day-to-day. Matthias Ekholm will not play tonight. Whoa. They will go 11-7 with Emberson and John Klingberg drawing into the lineup.
Okay.
And Matthias Ekholm is a maintenance day. That's why he won't play.
A maintenance day on a game day.
There's something more going over there, right? Like, coming out of the Four Nations where he was sick. Yeah. Everyone knew he was sick. It just seems like his body just has not recovered. And I wonder, and because I can't remember if it was Dusty or if it was Gager today that brought it up on the show, but they were talking about how he looked just frail compared to how he normally looks.
Right.
And when you're sick and if you can't eat for a number of days, like it's easy to lose 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds. Like when people are really, really sick.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if him being sick in combination with the Four Nations, in combination with a short off season, if he just physically, clearly he's worn down, but how much it's impacting him is.
That's why he played like poop yesterday.
But it factors into it, Hernan, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like now again, I'm being, I'm trying to be funny here, but you're
hilarious.
I mean, he had a rough game last night, and obviously, and someone on the nasty chat is bringing up a good point. He hasn't looked right since just before the Four Nations, guys.
Right? Yeah.
Well, okay. Now he puts up a good front at the rink. We spoke to him yesterday pre-game. I think he spoke, if I recall correctly, and I have noted this a little bit. He's very trim. Not that he was ever like a big, thick guy. Maybe it's because the beard isn't as thick, but he looks very svelte lately. And maybe that is a result of not being able to maintain weight, or he's just worn out, or the body's not reacting like it used to. He's a 35-year-old man. Things start to change when you get closer to your 40s. I'm still an Adonis, even though I'm not yet 40, but it's good. He's a pro hockey. I'm just kidding. But I don't know. There have been times where I'm like, oh, there's Mr. Reliable. There is the Viking. And there have been moments, like the first couple goals last night, where it's like, he's usually better than that, you know? And maybe this is an accumulation of it.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Do you want to add anything to that, Mr. Funny Man?
No. I like that. You called yourself an Adonis? That was great. That's great, Tom.
You enjoyed that? You got a kick out of it, did you? I'm glad you did. I'm happy to provide you with a good chuckle.
So I'll let you know once lineups come out, but it's 11-7, right? So you're going to see a mishmash of the four lines for sure, guys, here. But a good test. Now you're without your two best players, your number one goaltender. Well, he wasn't going to play anyway tonight, so
and your best defenseman.
And your best defenseman. It's a hell of a test for the Oilers.
Yes, it is. Okay, what we'll do is we'll formally push back starting lineups, brought to you by Southport Chev. We'll bump up the question of the night. Actually, we should get to the question of the night with Hernan Salas, and then we'll bump up game changers. Because we're on location, we're going to forego the visiting team guests. We had Mike Benton on a couple of days ago, teeing up the Kraken. I know the boys had Benton on earlier today. Nanso, you guys had Tony Mingioni out of Philly. That was a great segment. I appreciated that very much with the whole John Tortorella thing. Really quickly, curious, Tortorella kind of just being like, wiping his hands of this team, being, I can't coach this team anymore. I'm done. Even though there's like 10 to 12 games left. What'd you make of that? And then they formally fired him, so he does get paid next year.
Yeah, formally fired him. Yeah. But I think the second he came out in the comments that, like, even I think it was last week when he was just blaming himself. Like, I didn't do enough and this and that. And I'm not surprised at this point. And he's been around for long enough.
Yes.
That he's like, I'm done. I'm just done.
Screw this.
Yep, I'm out. Yeah. I got better things to do. I want to go spend time with my family. I want to go see. And he probably was just like, yeah, I'm not really going to do anything else. You guys can fire me if you want. And I'm just going to hang out here. What's the phrase the young kids are using these days? Quiet quitting. Is that right?
Quiet quitting. Is that what that
quiet quitting?
What is a quiet quit for those that are uninformed?
You show up, but you don't really do anything.
Yes. Until they finally
say, all right, see ya. You're gone.
Is he the oldest coach, boys? Up until today? Was he the oldest coach in the league?
Yep. Yeah, he was older by 1 year than Ruff, who's so he's Tortorella was 65. Is 65. And Lindy Ruff is 64. So he's been around. I mean, he's got to be ready to just be done. And and part of me just wants him to do media stuff.
I don't want him to do. I don't enjoy him.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
But I'm not saying.
I enjoy him.
Yeah,
like
I know, and that's. I know a lot of people.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
I just and everyone says he's a wonderful guy off camera, away from his teams and stuff, and I'm just like the persona he portrays outwardly, publicly, has put me off for so long that I'm like, I don't even care. And I don't care. He's a Paisan. I'm just like,
yeah,
basta. No
you know
more.
what? You know what, Tommy? I bet you if you got to spend, just go grab a couple adult beverages with him for a couple hours, you probably would change your mind.
And you're probably right. But I haven't had that opportunity.
That's true.
Dean Millard spent an hour with him on a flight or on his way to a flight. Said he was fantastic, and I 100% believe Dean, but from my experiences, the scrums that I've been in with him, I'm just like, oh, wow. I don't like that energy. But, Cass, you're probably right that if I had a chance to have a social sparkler, as we like to say, with him and talk about dogs, because I understand he loves dogs, I'd probably be like, that guy's an absolute beauty. Never judge a book by its cover.
Nope. Well, most of the time. Most of the time.
Oh, man. Okay, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Let's get to the Latino Heats question of the night. Nance, are you ready to lay it on us?
Yeah. Will John Tortorella be the Oilers' next head coach? No, I'm just kidding.
Shut it.
I didn't know that Skinner was day-to-day. I thought he might be a little bit longer. But nonetheless, guys, if he can't play here for a stretch, let's call it a week, what's your confidence level in Calvin Pickard running as the number one here for while Stuart Skinner's out? Because I asked Joaquin, it's Skinner's Pickard's only played in back-to-back games twice since the playoffs, guys. He played the Vancouver series. And then just recently, but he got pulled in the second game, he got pulled against Anaheim. Remember that game, boys? That was a really ugly one.
6-2 they lost.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I guess, 10 being the highest, what's your confidence level, Calvin Pickard, running, let's say, 3-4 consecutive games?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going with an 8. Like, I think he's shown you enough here that you have a reasonable amount of confidence in him.
Yeah.
And I get, you do make a good point, Hernan. I actually wasn't aware of that. I hadn't thought of that, like where he hasn't made a lot of consecutive starts. So I get that, and I kind of factor that in. But I still arrive at that around 8. Like he's just been steady. He's been steady. So should you be confident that he can hold you in for 3 or 4 games and give you a good couple nights in a row and an opportunity a few nights in a row? I think you should be. I'm in an 8.
All right. I'm pulling up his game log from the season. Cass, 8 is strong. I think there is a confidence in his game from the team. I think Calvin Pickard feels good about his game. So to me, 8 reflects kind of where he's at, where the team's at, how he has played at times. He has come up with that big save that we seek as media and fans of the team. So I would go with 8 if he has to play tonight, Saturday against Calgary, and then to start that road trip.
Yep.
I still think that he gives them a good chance to win. I don't think he takes over the reins by any means. He's there until Stu Skinner is ready to return to action. So I'll go with 8 with our game analyst, Matt Kassian, on that one. Nanso, do you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I'm around there. I'd probably say let's go with a 7. It does concern me that it's different when you're playing it once every 4 games than you're the guy every night, right? So I want to see, and I kind of want to see that, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. I want Skinner to make a speedy recovery and be back with the team as soon as possible, but I would not mind seeing what Calvin Pickard can do in like a 3-4 game stretch.
He's played back-to-back games a couple of times this season. Obviously, there's been some pulls, and then there was the spotter pulling out Stu Skinner. The back-to-back starts that Hernan's referring to is the one at Carolina. Played a really good game when the Oilers really struggled on that road trip coming out of the Four Nations face-off. He won that game, 1 goal on 36 shots, but then the next game when they returned home against the Ducks, they lost. He had 4 goals allowed on 11 shots. 1908 was the amount of work he put in that night. And then he has played in back-to-back games recently. He played against Utah, got the win, 1 goal on 30 shots in a 60-minute effort. And then he had to play that Winnipeg game, come in for mop-up duty because Stu Skinner got bumped.
Yep.
Spotter, and I think he tried to sell it, and then the spotter said, hey, I don't like how that looked. Get him out of there. Pickard goes in and finishes up that game, and unfortunately they lose in overtime. I don't think it was his fault. But there have been a few scenarios where he has ended up in back-to-back games this season. It's going to happen again tonight against the Seattle Kraken. All right, Hersey chiming in. Says, hey, guys, I've been thinking about this the last few games, but I've accepted Bouchard will never be a quote-unquote mean or player or have the awareness to sense danger defensively. I don't think it's in his DNA. He's so good offensively, but I don't ever think that his defensive game will ever be there. Might get slightly better, but won't ever get to an elite level. He gets paid, but it will be up and down for Oilers fans, just like Nurse's contract, I feel. Thoughts, Cass?
Well, we've said it before. We'll say it again. Evan Bouchard is high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Right? It's the type of player he is. You want him to generate offensively. He's going to take risks. Sometimes that's going to cost you. The very thing that makes him fantastic in the offensive zone at times can burn him in the defensive zone. You know, that patience with the puck, the waiting that extra second, that just holding on to it just a second longer than everyone else normally would, that either freezes guys or opens up lanes or creates opportunity. It's brilliant in the offensive zone. At times, it can hurt him in the defensive zone. I don't think he's like horrible positionally. I think they would give up, and he would give up more defensively if he was. It's the big mistakes that cost him.
Yes.
It's the big mistakes. And so to sit and to say, well, because I'm hesitant to say, oh, he's just horrible at defense. Oh, he's horrible at defense. Because he's not.
And he's been good defensively at the end of last year, at the end of the year before, at the end of before.
Exactly. And so I'm like, I'm hesitant to be like, oh, he's never going to be an elite defender. Like, I think he is. I mean, offensively, he is. You can't argue he's elite offensively. You cannot argue that.
Well,
okay.
I'm pulling this up right now so you can reference it.
Well, yeah, fourth overall in the league in points
among defensemen.
Yeah. Plus 15, so he's better plus minus than Quinn Hughes, better plus minus than Zach Werenski, who's a fantastic player.
Yes.
We don't talk about as much. Rasmus Dahlin, higher than that, higher than Morrissey. Morrissey's a plus 9, Evan Bouchard a plus 15.
Look at this one.
Yeah, Victor Hedman as well. Yeah, 54 points plus 10. So it's like you can't sit and tell me, and you can look at all the analytics as well.
Oh, and we've been shown those many times.
Right. And people like you cannot, because we have to go, and this is where analytics are useful. And I'll talk about this, and we talk about it sometimes, is we have to watch and say, okay, we're seeing these big mistakes, but we're also seeing some good things offensively. What do the numbers say? Now, the numbers say he's way more productive offensively than he gives up.
I would never disagree with that. Yeah.
Right. However, we also have to watch the tape. And when we watch the tape, we see he is prone to making major mistakes at key times
that directly lead to goals against.
Right. Again, major mistakes at key times where he's not the second, third, or fourth guy involved in a play where it's like mistake 1 happens, mistake 2 happens. Because we talk about, usually when goals happen, generally speaking, it's not one mistake. Usually it's 2, 3, 4 mistakes by 2, 3, 4 different people, and the puck ends up in the back of your net.
First goal last game. That's exactly what happened.
Right. Now, Evan Bouchard, when he's making mistakes, he's the one guy responsible. for a lot of these.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so it strikes, like it just hits that much harder when you're watching it. And for people that see that, where I understand that they feel the impact of, oh, he's not a good defender. But I don't think that's true. And I think we have seen that he is capable of getting that out of his game. He just hasn't found that groove this year. So I don't think anyone should give up on him being able to do that, because we've seen him do it before, Tom. Right. And I think we can, and hopefully we'll see him do it again. But it's just, I think, too narrow to say that he's not good at defense.
Where Hersey says, I don't ever think that his defensive game will ever be there. Did he say anything about being elite defensively? He'll never be mean or have the awareness to sense danger defensively. I don't think it's in his day.
And he will never be mean. I agree. That part I completely agree with.
But he won't ever get to an elite playoffs, level. Guys. He was one of their best defensemen, and I'm not just talking offensively, right? Like, he can do it. We've seen it.
Yeah, he can.
Hersey did say, I don't ever think he'll get to an elite level. I agree with that statement. I think he can be a good defense. Like, I think he can play good defense. I think he's capable, like you said, he's shown it. He might not get to elite where he's the automatic shutdown guy, but he can
he's play not supposed to be
good defensive hockey.
He's not supposed to be the automatic shutdown guy.
I know. It'd be nice if he could kind of do it like he has in years past. But I agree with Hersey in saying I don't think he'll ever get to an elite defenseman status. 100% agree. But I'm with you on that one.
Cass, question, I guess, for both of you guys. Like, we talk about Zach Werenski, amazing year. I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of Columbus, but he's more well-rounded than a Bouchard, because he's very offensive too.
Yeah. I think he probably a little more well-rounded. I mean, he's a minute muncher. Like, he plays a ton of minutes. He plays in every situation.
Yeah.
I would say Bouchard makes plays with his vision and his patience. Werenski makes plays with his feet often, would be maybe. And I know that.
I know what you mean.
Like Werenski, he'll be explosive laterally. Like, he'll make a move laterally, make a couple steps, open up a lane and make a play with it. Mm-hmm. Where Bouchard's just kind of the wait, something opens up and he makes the move.
Right.
Where Werenski will create with his feet, and Bouchard doesn't. So they're very different stylistically, I would say, when I watch them play. But I think you make a good point, and I would lean towards that. When I have watched, I've probably watched Columbus, watched them in person once, and probably watched 3 or 4 games this year, along with watching Werenski at the Four Nations.
Yes.
I think, he probably just better. Skates better. Yeah, more mobile.
Fair point. All right, keep your texts coming in. Hit us up in the nasty chat. It is a GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. Tom and Cass on location. Hernan back at EST Global HQ. He will be coming down here after the pregame show, and we'll watch the game. We've got some nasties that are here. Big Uke is here. Corey B is here. Oh, VR Montenegro is here. Good day, sir.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun down here at BP Westgate. We've got a lot of great giveaways for you as well. Okay, Chris Knoblock pregame is ready. Do you want to get to that, and then we'll dive into Game Changers? We'll have some more information from Knoblock that can help us with Game Changers, and then we'll get into starting lineups when we see the updates from Climate Pledge Arena, where we do know that Matthias Ekholm is out. Obviously, no Stu Skinner, no McDavid, no Draisaitl. All right, Nat, so let's hear from Chris Knoblock, who spoke just recently.
Stuart Skinner after last night.
Just touch base with him. He's doing much better today. Unfortunately, he won't be joining us tonight or, next few days, and we'll see down the road when he joins us.
Safe to say a day-to-day type of situation for
him? Day-to-day.
With Calvin Pickard and the way that he's performed for you guys this year, he stepped up in big moments. How crucial is it now in a time like this where Stuart Skinner is day-to-day that you have someone like Calvin Pickard to come in and that you can easily rely on?
We've relied on Calvin quite a bit. Since I've been here, I've been very impressed with how reliable he's been coming in after not playing a certain or long periods of time. As that backup goalie, that role's sometimes difficult. Not playing a regular game, going weeks sometimes without playing, and you look back, probably no time did he come up bigger than game 4 and 5 against Vancouver in the playoffs last year. So, he's given us really solid goaltending. since I've been here. I've been very happy with it, and we're going to need more of that.
With Raul Reed coming up on the emergency basis and then Derek Ryan back to Bakersfield, are you willing to share kind of how the lineup shifts tonight?
Yeah, we'll make some adjustments. Obviously, we need to. We're short of forward, so we'll go with 11 and 7, and we'll just have to. We've had guys have to step up, and we're going to have even more opportunities for guys to step up because we're going to need it.
On that same note, there's been lots of conversation about how other guys can step up and the opportunity that's presented, especially without number 97 and number 29. What have you noticed about this team, specifically character-wise, over the last week or so?
Just they like a challenge. With that extra responsibility, getting to play, you see a lot of guys step up and play much better. And, go through the lineup, and there's numerous guys. Just look at them, pointing out the goal scorers the other night. Henrique, a couple lately. Skinner, two of his last 3 games are 3 goals. Certain guys like that who've had prominent roles on other teams in the past, and now being here haven't necessarily been on a prominent role. But now they're getting the opportunity for more ice time, first unit power play. They're good power play guys that they just take a back seat with 97 and 29, as they should, but they're capable of doing it.
I know you don't like having those guys out, 29 and 97, but the way things have gone the last 2 games, have you been pretty happy with the way the group has come together?
Absolutely. You never want those guys to be out. When they're in the lineup, it gives us a better opportunity to win every single night, and we're in the NHL, and that is the goal, to win each night. But it's an opportunity for other guys, and heading into the end of the season, it's nice to, have those guys build their games, have more confidence, and also as a coach, it gives me a lot more opportunity to play with lines, and whether McDavid and Draisaitl play on the same line, we're relying on other guys to really step up and play. That if they can continue doing that, then it gives us an option of playing those 2 together. Where if other guys aren't really playing well, we need to separate those 2.
Is Klingberg an option if you...
Klingberg will be playing tonight.
Will be playing tonight. And Emerson's...
He's also playing tonight.
Okay. So one of the... my math isn't very good. That means one of the 6 is not...
Ekholm's not playing.
Okay, sorry.
Ekholm has to come out, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I apologize. I don't know if you said that. I was
just maintenance, yes.
Maintenance for Matthias?
Yes.
And, I think we're caught up.
Very patient Chris Knoblock with Gene Principe. I mean, I would imagine they have a great relationship, but Gene's like the grandpa. Okay, and so this guy's not okay in math, and very well done, Gino. He's an angel. He's a great man, and Knoblock, obviously, they probably have a great rapport. I think they do, actually.
Can you imagine what Tortorella would have done?
He'd be like, damn it, Gene. I thought you knew this.
Oh, we would have something. We could talk about that the rest of the show.
You might have hit him.
Yeah. Took a swing.
Well, first of all, Tortorella is about a foot smaller than Gene, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but Gene's a good Northside Paisan, and back in the day, he used to be a big, thick guy that would break up the fights. Maybe he got into a few here and there. So, but he's a gentle man.
Paisan.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go. So we got the update from Chris Knoblock. Talk about guys stepping up. Stu Skinner, day to day. So and then just we're having fun with it at the end of that interview with Chris Knoblock as we roll into Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian, who's here live on location, Boston Pizza, Westgate. Come on down, 170th Street and 90th Ave. Of course, Game Changers brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. And Cass, happy birthday to Damon Bunting. It is his birthday.
I actually didn't know that. I should have known that.
Yeah.
I'm going to send him a text right now.
I actually went on Facebook for the first time in weeks, and it was on the side there. It's like, wish him a happy birthday. I was like, I will wish him one on the air. So happy birthday to Damon Bunting.
Tommy.
Great guy. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to interrupt today?
I'm just sorry, man. Holloway just scored again.
You interrupted a birthday wish for that?
What's the score now?
Get this man a cigarette.
It's 2-1. Sorry. But yes, happy birthday to Damon Bunting. Overall, good guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to point number 1 on Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting's birthday today. Cass, net front.
Well, gave you a preview of it earlier, Tom.
Yes.
People all up in arms about the goaltenders getting run and people needing to fight people and get upset and angry and this and that and protect the goalies and protect this. And while I disagree with, I think it's a huge problem that they don't protect the goalies. I do think that it's a problem that this team doesn't do a good enough job protecting the lanes to the front of their own net and trying to penetrate the lanes going to the opponent's front of the net. Right. And when Edmonton finally started to do it yesterday against Ottinger, lo and behold, the puck starts going in. Funny how that happens. You create some traffic, you get bodies to the front, and things start to happen. And so it's a twofold thing going against Seattle, especially, Ekholm being out of the lineup as well. 7 defensemen. There should be no excuse about someone being too tired to do it. Finding a way to improve on your box outs, to keep those lanes to the net clear, to make sure that there's no easy paths right in front of the crease.
Right.
I think is incredibly important. And on the flip side, for the forwards, even though there's only 11 of you, let's do a better job of getting to the front of the net. I think as a whole this season, this team has not done a good enough job of that. I don't know if there's some magic in the Gatorade that all of a sudden gets them going with that, but we can hope.
Klingberg has not played in 10 straight. Mm-hmm. Emerson has not played in 4. What do you look for from them?
Yeah. Well, Emerson probably, I guess Klingberg used to not playing after long stretches of time.
No.
Yeah. Boy. But, Emerson may be a little bit more used to being the in and out of the lineup between the two of them. I mean, you want to see simplicity, right? You want to see simplicity. Like, don't try to do too much. There could be, even though it's 2 guys coming in the lineup, you still have 7 defensemen. So there's a lot of minutes to go around. Right. So I think the tendency could be to, I'm going to try to show that I should get more of these minutes, to be the guy that's going to get these minutes and get that opportunity.
Take the bull by the horns kind of thing.
Yeah. And, there's some good things that can come about with that, but there also can be some challenging things where it's like, well, you're stepping in after not playing for a long time. You shouldn't try to do too much. Mm-hmm. Like just play a simple game. And I mean, a good game for both of Klingberg and Emerson would be when we're not talking about them at all afterwards. Like if you ask me the question, or I ask you, or Hernan asks you, or Hernan, whoever asks anybody, right. Like, hey, what do you think about Emerson's game? And we're like, I don't really notice him. Probably a good thing. And the same thing for Klingberg. That's what you want to see from those guys tonight.
Dancito, anything?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, a little worried about Klingberg because he hasn't played in so long. I know he was dealing with some sort of injury as well. I don't have issues with Emerson. I'll be honest, guys. I was a little surprised he sat out 4 straight games. I thought he'd kind of rotate with Stetcher there, but he's a physical guy. He makes a good first pass. So I think for them, it's going to be important to get into the game early. Maybe throw a check or something. Probably not realistic for Klingberg, but we'll see what happens here. I'm also intrigued to see what the ice time is. Like Nurse, Bouchard, and Kulak are probably going to be over. They're going to be the highest by far, and then I think the other 4 are going to kind of share it. Maybe Wallman in there too. I keep forgetting about him, but Stetcher, Klingberg, and Emerson. I'm intrigued to see how the coach uses them.
Klingberg has not played in 23 days. His last game was the 4th against Anaheim. That was not a good night like we were talking about earlier. He played 18:30, was -1 in that game. All right, so let's go to point number 2 of Game Changers. Layups, Cass.
No layups. I think it wasn't Derek Ryan. I can't remember which Edmonton Oiler it was. Maybe it was Arvidsson. I should remember who it was. I can't remember who it was.
The first goal?
No. I was going to say in the post-game interview yesterday that said, yeah, we gave up a few layups. That was the term that we don't normally do. And I was kind of like, well, you kind of sometimes have given those up. I wouldn't necessarily say you don't normally give them up. But against a Seattle team that's markedly worse than the Dallas Stars, you gave the Dallas Stars some layups. And you don't want to do the same thing to a team that can't score at nearly or with nearly the level of ease that a Dallas Stars can. I mean, Dallas, we go up and down the lineup. Like Robertson, guy can score goals.
He had a great second period.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
But he's a goal scorer. Johnson can score goals.
Yes.
Rantanen can score goals. Like you have
Rope Hintz
can score goals. Like you have a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Seattle doesn't have that. Not a high goal scoring team. They're a committee type offense. I think they're one of the lowest scoring offenses in the league overall. Their forward group in particular, where they just don't have that kind of punch. So not giving them the easy layup, just the easy tap in, the easy way to the front of the net, the easy I'm just going to lose my guy, and it's just a tappy on the back door, a little tapperoonie. You can't be giving those up against the Seattle Kraken because they have a tough time manufacturing those offensive chances on their own.
Yep.
Unlike Dallas, who Edmonton did give some layups to. So getting those back out of the game, really, really important. And as you pulled it up here, goals for per game, 2.99 for the Seattle Kraken. And if we look at the total goal for, coming in at 215, which I'm not sure exactly where that places in the league, but it's not
215 goals for.
Yep.
That would put. All right, let's calculating here. They're 15.
Okay,
so surprisingly
crept up a little bit. Yeah,
but you're right about the by committee thing. I mean, you look at their leading scorers. The top point getter right now is Jared McCann at 49 points. They got a bunch of guys in that 30 to 40. Yep. Not even a single guy at 50 points yet.
One or two guys over 20 goals in Schwartz and Tolvanen. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. So by committee, very much so, and they've had problems keeping the puck out of their own net.
That too.
That's a bit of a goaltending issue, and I know Grubauer's had his struggles. Maybe some of the defensive work a little spotty at times, but they get outscored. By the way, goals against per game by the Kraken is 3.24. Where does that put them? That would put them 9th worst in the NHL.
Yep.
So they don't score. In a 3-2 league, they give up the 3 more times than not and only get the 2 more times than not. So there is a good point. No layups, though. Don't give them anything. Nope. Don't give them anything. All right, it is Game Changers with Matt Kassian, our game analyst. Number 1 was net front. Number 2 was layups. Number 3, Cass, good pun here. Pickarding up the load.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a scheduled start for Calvin Pickard, even with Stuart Skinner staying home in Edmonton to recover. But, hey, who knows? And I have a hunch Skinner comes back on Saturday, but he may not for the game against the Calgary Flames. And in the meantime, Calvin Pickard could get a couple games in a row. We don't know exactly yet, but this could be the first of a few. And, hey, want to see him have a night. I didn't love Stuart Skinner's game before the injury. Don't think he was overly sharp in that one. And want to see Calvin Pickard step in and do what he's supposed to do, which is be a stable, steady backup, make the save you're supposed to make, and maybe, just maybe, give us that one save that everyone always just harps on about that, the extra save, makes that one big save, makes that one that we hear about all the time, and maybe he gives you that tonight.
Pickard on breakaways, guys. Where's your confidence level with him on the breakaways?
On breakaways?
Yeah. And like even 2-on-1s.
I was going to say 2-on-1s is a bigger thing because they were giving up a ton of those. I mean, I'm going to put it right where I put it for most goalies, which is at like 6. I mean, you have a slightly better percentage chance.
One was Robertson, one was Wyatt Johnson. Those are 2 excellent scorers.
Good players.
Nanso, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember breakaways here for good old Calvin Pickard. He's been pretty good, actually, Tom.
Well, but Skinner, where do you put Skinner on breakaways? That's what. Did I say Pickard? I hope
you said Pickard.
My bad. I meant Skinner because Skinner on breakaways, I don't have a lot of trust in right now. My bad. I meant Skinner.
Yeah, definitely room for improvement. I know Joaquin was not happy, even though Wyatt Johnson walked in all alone. He did not like how deep he was in the net and how he didn't read the play quick enough. So I definitely room for improvement for Stuart Skinner for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We have quick updates as we get to starting lineups. That was Game Changers, by the way, brought to you by Damon Bunting, the birthday boy. For starting lineups, those are brought to you, as always, by South Fort Chev. We're officially in Truck Month, which comes with deeper discounts and lower interest rates on Silverados and HD, 0% for up to 72 months on Silverado Custom and Custom Trail Boss. The Silverado is built in Canada, 90-day payment deferral or $10K cash back with the purchase of a new vehicle. Conditions do apply. See dealer for details. www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Jack Michaels at Climate Pledge Arena says no sign of Ekholm. We already knew that. Maintenance for him. He's out. Troy Stetcher is taking rushes at forward with Kasperi Kapanen at center and Max Jones on the left wing. Perry is up with Henrique and Hyman. So that would leave us with Nugent Hopkins with Colson and Arvidsson. And does that have us at Skinner, Janmark, and Brown? Am I reading that correctly?
Yep.
Okay. They're going 11-7, although they put Stetcher in warm-ups.
Well, you're going to slide in so guys aren't double shifting in warm-ups. Not mess up the rotation. Yeah.
For pairings, we've got Nurse with Emerson, Wallman with Bouchard, Kulak with Klingberg, Pickard the start in goal, obviously. Anything that you want to hit on with those combinations?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a lot of I think we're going to see a lot of Wallman Bouchard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be interesting. And I would say the other thing, I'm interested to see how frequently we see Kulak jump up with Nurse.
Good point.
That'll be. I know he's starting off that pairing with Klingberg, but I think Kulak will be kind of shuffled around,
replacing Emberson.
Okay. Maybe not even replacing, but just you'll see a little bit more movement in the pairings, like where they're going to be. The pairings are going to be in the blender, and you got 7, right? Because Stetcher's got to fit in there somewhere too.
Sure.
So, it'll be the blender. It's like you're going to see a lot of Nurse, you're going to see a lot of Wallman Bouchard, and you're going to see a lot of Kulak. Those 4 are going to get a lot more minutes than the rest.
So Mark Stewart and Paul Coffey are going to be doing some tap dancing with the lines.
Some tappy dancing. Yeah, the little kicks at the guys' backs to let them know they're going.
Hernan,
a lot of taps.
What do you think of this scenario?
Lots of Nuge, I think, as well. I think Nuge is going to get a heavy dose. And listen, Knoblock trusts the Connor Browns and the Janmarks and the Adam Henriques. I think they're going to get a lot of ice time as well. But I think Nuge is going to be out there a lot, centering probably a couple lines, a couple different looks as well. So, defensively, a lot of Bush, a lot of Wallman, a lot of Kulak, Nurse, and then the other 3 will plug. The other 3 are probably going to come in at, 13, 14 minutes. Some of them will get a shift with Nurse and all that. But, interesting for sure. Makes it tough tonight, boys. Makes it tough.
Woo. Injuries all of a sudden have become an issue for the Edmonton Oilers. Here's what we're anticipating from the Seattle Kraken tonight as we continue on with starting lineups brought to you by South Fort Chev. Shane Wright between Jaden Schwartz and Jordan Eberle. Matty Beniers with Yanni Newman and Capo Caco. Jared McCann with Eli Tolvanen and Andre Burakovsky. John Hayden, Michael Isamont, and Tarche on defense. Vince Dunn with Adam Larson. Riker Evans paired up with Brandon Montour. Jamie Alexiak with Josh Mahura. Hersey's brother. You'll hear Hersey's one of our... He's a nasty, as we like to say. He sent in a text earlier in the show. Your starting goalies for tonight, 32-year-old Calvin Pickard, 17-7-1. On the air, 261 goals against average, 901 save percentage in 28 games this year. Pickard versus the Kraken, 2-0 lifetime with a 2.0 goals against average, 913 save percentage in those 2 appearances versus Seattle. And then at the other end of the rink, 28-year-old Joey Decord getting the nod. 23-19-5 is his record, 272 goals against average, 908 save percentage, 1 shutout in 49 games. Decord versus Edmonton in search of win number 1. 0-6-1 so far. 382 goals against average, 874 save percentage in 8 games versus the Oilers for Decord. So you're saying he's due?
Probably. Yeah. Probably. You know what I kind of hope happens tonight? I just want to hear a Newman.
Yanni Newman. And it looks like Nyman, but we talked about this with Benton, and it's pronounced Newman. Anything on the Kraken lineup, Nancito?
I thought you brought it up earlier. McCann's their leading scorer, Tommy?
Yep, 49 points.
No, Jaden Schwartz always puts up points against the Oilers. That's a guy you got to have your eye on as well. Newman, he's a good player, man. I know when we had your buddy there, Mike Benton was his name.
Yep.
Yeah, he spoke glowingly of this player, so I'm excited to get another chance to see him. But like Cass said earlier, no gifts tonight, boys. Make this team work for their goals, especially shorthanded. the way the Oilers are playing, just don't gift wrap any goals for these guys and make them work through it, because if they have to, you're probably in a good spot if you can find 2 or 3 goals, right?
I would think so, especially against this Kraken team. Like Cass pointed out, they score by committee, but most 2.99 goals for per game. I think it's 3.3 if I remember. I think I still have that stat up here. Goals against per game, the Kraken 3.24. So yeah, you get to 3.
Yeah,
decent chance of winning, right? Let's get to the Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. This one's a lengthy one, which is too bad for the Oilers. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians, along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. If you have a nagging pain you'd like to see go away, book your consultation today at www.advantagesportsmed.ca. I think Matthias Ekholm could go over there. I think Stu Skinner could head over there. Maybe Draisaitl, McDavid. Go see the crew at Advantage Sports Medicine to get them back in the game. Stu Skinner, day-to-day, upper body, neck, head. We saw it yesterday against Dallas. Leon Draisaitl, day-to-day, undisclosed. Hammy. Connor McDavid, day-to-day, lower body. John Klingberg, day-to-day, undisclosed. Trent Frederick, IR ankle. Alec Regula, IR knee. Evander Kane, LTIR, abdominal surgery and knee surgery. And then add Matthias Ekholm, a late add, maintenance, as they're calling it.
Sniffles.
Sure. Yeah.
Day-to-day. Sniffles.
Sniffles. For Seattle, just the one. Chandler Stevenson, day-to-day, upper body. That is your Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Guys, we have a couple minutes left. Anything you want to hit on, Nanso? Cass?
I'll read some text here. AJ in Montreal. Has Klingberg ever played in an Oilers win? Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
let's not, Scalding Gord. No McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, and Skinner. Beer sales may be higher than normal tonight in Edmonton, for sure. Hey, guys, building in this Bouchard conversation, if he is elite offensively, not elite well-rounded, what do the Oilers pay him?
10 to 11 million.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you for the 50th time.
Yep. It's going to be high.
Did I forget one of these for you on that one?
Yeah. Come on.
Hersey getting in here says, that's what I was getting at with Hernan and what he said. Just if the gap between the offense and defense, this is about Bouchard, would somewhat be closer, less points for more consistent defense. And then Darnell Nurse says that Chris Purper says Darnell Nurse was that guy 3 years ago. Kind of in the same boat as Bouchard, where a lot of attention, talking about the high risk, high reward sort of game. There are some similarities there.
Yeah, very different. I mean, Darnell Nurse, though, at his best when he's playing that aggressive, physical, defensive game. Different. But I understand, just even from a contract standpoint, scenario offensive, having some point success for a couple of years and wanting to get paid. I get that. Yeah.
Cap and also up now.
And also taking the brunt of the vitriol from fans. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That as well.
That he does. Coyote Steve says, offer sheet Bouchard. All caps, LOL at the end of it. Oh, man. And then Tempo YOTV says, at least Nurse knows how to play defense. He's having a very strong bounce back year.
Yep.
Someone was yesterday on the postgame show making a comparison. They texted a comparison to Pronger. I thought that was a bit steep, but he has had a very strong season. So I was like, Pronger was like
Pronger was
penalty kill, 30 minutes a night, resting while he was in shift. This is I think Ekholm probably better last year, but Nurse is having a very strong season.
Fantastic season. Fantastic. He's doing exactly what you need him to do.
Yeah.
In playing, doing very, very well. Not at Chris Pronger's level.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
No.
Okay, this has been fun. We're going to have a bite to eat. We're going to watch the game. We're going to mingle with some of the nasties. Come on down to Boston Pizza Westgate. Nat, so you're going to be on your way?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. What is it? Tonight you get $5 off medium pizzas. You get $5.50 shooters, the Fireball, Jägermeister, and a couple of others, and then $1 off tankards of Molson and Coors Light. And then we've got the giveaways. Cass got the Oilers toque there. We got the golf glove. We got the Coors Light shirts that are available, plus some $25 GCs. Golf shirt from, I think that's Travis Matthew. We're going to have a lot of fun here at Boston Pizza Westgate. Come on down. We're going to have a great time. Cass, Nanso, DVD, and the Nasties will all be here. Even Dusty's set to make an appearance. And I think Lieutenant Eric might even show up. Ooh, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show for the Latino Heat, Hernan, Salas, and my man Cass. I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the Oilers and the Kraken. We'll see you on the postgame show.